This is Barbara DeLong, and I painted and channeled the Cosmic Deck of Initiation, which has recently been re-released, along with a handbook that gives detailed instructions on how to use the deck, and most recently, the digital app for those of you who want to use it on your cell phones. Because this is not your ordinary tarot or oracle deck, I thought it important to give you a hint as to the kind of information and material you can get from the deck. While it can, of course, be used for prognostication, its original intent was for those who are on a personal spiritual journey and seeking insight and wisdom that has been carried within for eons of your spirit's journey. The deck enables individuals to become their own master teacher, learning from that which has personally been gathered over time and not following another's teaching or pathway. The spirit's journey is unique unto each individual, so information will always be unique, and the interpretation and application as well will differ. The deck is very personal, and the more you use it, the greater it will serve you. I'm sharing the meaning of one of the cards to give you a hint as to the kind of information they will share with you. For further information, you can go to cosmicdeckofinitiation.com, and the link will follow the meaning of the card. Enjoy and learn. You have drawn Universal Freedom. It indicates that you have the freedom to do or be whatever you want. You need only claim that right, and of course, be responsible for the consequences of your actions. The choices are limitless. Reach for them. And inner healing has given you the freedom to manifest on a higher level. You have let go and will now experience great freedom. We always have the option of free choice, universal freedom without judgment. Through our choices, we set in motion the consequences of our actions. There's always a balance, and one should be aware of this before making snap choices or decisions. Ponder well your choices, for you are in control of what comes your way. When working with the pyramid spread, if your card falls in the circle for body and health, it reminds you that it is your responsibility to take care of the physical well-being of the vehicle that your spirit now travels in, to control what you put into it and how you treat the physicality. Often, we forget that our bodies require the same care as any vehicle, and if we misuse them, there is no trade-in. Take care of diet and hydration, for if your body breaks down, you can't exactly get out and walk. Today, it is really difficult to fuel our bodies appropriately, and the reliance on pharmaceuticals is getting out of hand. Because we have total freedom in this area, a great deal of abuse tends to take place. Very little attention is paid to how we eat. Individuals fall into addictions of all sorts, habits that are unhealthy and can cause a shortening of the lifespan. The freedom in this area often leads to neglect or even addiction. Watch out for those elements that sound or look like fun that can lead you down a pathway there may well be no return from. Often warnings and cautions are ignored, and because of the freedom, the thought is we can always back up and change our direction. Depending on how far you have gone down that path, you can change your behavior, but that takes strength of character and determination. For those who are able, the rewards are great and the results profound. Freedom on a personal level puts a great deal of responsibility into your hands. For those who take this seriously, they will live long and prosper, to borrow a phrase from Spock. Being aware of the delicate systems within the body and the care needed to protect those systems lends not only to greater awareness of our physicality, but also gives you greater freedom to grow more and go further within this lifetime. Freedom allows you to develop greater responsibility and awareness, so you are free to make wise choices along your pathway. If your card falls in the circle for the future, it indicates that insight and wisdom have expanded so that you are able to view greater choices available to you. As time goes by, there will be many opportunities to flow in directions that the creative energies within will open to you. These new directions may well take you off the pathway you thought you would follow, and for some time this allows for the development of new skills and talents and directions never before considered. Others will let the opportunities pass them by, for they are content within their present pathway, and both directions are appropriate. The future is a blank slate, and it is up to the individual as to what kind of future will open for them. Quite frequently we find ourselves flowing in directions we might never have chosen for ourselves. In reality, we did choose them, we just never consulted with our conscious mind at the time. Before incarnation, a request was made to experience situations that would give us experience in different aspects of reality. So, within the physical reality, opportunities are presented to us to develop those very aspects or skills. We do have the freedom to sidestep those lessons or experiences as they are presented, but if they are crucial to the development of the spirit within, the lessons are presented over and over until we finally comply to the request made by the spirit before incarnation. For what it's worth, it's usually easier to experience the lesson the first time, because it gets more difficult with the number of times it's presented. Each lifetime can be compared to a flowing stream, and as life unfolds, there are times of white water and times of even flow, as well as times when there is stillness that is peaceful and almost bucolic. It is a wise person that chooses to paddle with the current. There are those who set their sights on alternative destinations and who paddle against the current, only to find, when they arrive ultimately, it is a destination that looked good from afar, yet when viewed up close it didn't fit at all. Many are wise enough to get back in their boats and flow with the current, arriving at the perfect destination, a bit late, but where they belong. Others will decide to settle and become complacent, settling in and settling for less, and all have the freedom to choose. If your card falls in the circle for career and finances, it means that spiritually speaking, your spirit is able to manifest through any life focus you choose. The lessons you need for this or any lifetime will flow to you no matter what area you decide to blend your energies with. Follow your bliss, and you can't go wrong. But if, because of life circumstances, you're not able to do so, then make sure you have created extracurricular activities outside of the career mode. Creativity in any form will supply the flow of energy to carry you forward no matter what other choices you have made in life. For those in a true spiritual pathway, the universe always provides what you need. Not necessarily what you want, but absolutely what you need. There will be several times in each lifetime that the element of life focus will change. You will be drawn in new directions and will have the options to advance or shift altogether. You will always have the freedom to make your own choices. It is important to note, though, that your energy is what draws new opportunities to you, and if Spirit thinks you're ready for change, you most probably are. We draw to us what is most important and needed for evolution and growth, so be observant what it is you are putting out there that's attracting new options to you. Change is always a good thing, and sometimes it takes time to see it or even understand it, but when we do, we find the gift it brought was amazing. If your card falls in the circle for the mind, it indicates that intellect is constantly expanding, gathering information and insight. Good thing that there is always room for more. Often the wisdom gathered is not what the conscious mind recognizes as wisdom, but it is always what spirit required. As the time frame moves on, there is constant gathering, as well as connecting to those ancient memories that have direct reflection to what is occurring around you at the moment. There's also an inner restlessness that is continually stretching for insight and understanding of your place within the species and the universe as a whole. Trying to understand the meaning of life has flickered across your mind often, and as the years flow by, it returns more and more often. There is greater understanding of spirit and universals, not so much in the religious frame, but definitely a spiritual one. Your relationship with the source of all creation and what part you as an individual spirit have to play within the whole scheme of things is of interest to you. There will be elements of reality you delve into and actually come to understand, at least from your frame of reference. This is a time frame when such topics are not pursued, as they and you have been in times long past. You have the freedom this lifetime to question and to seek answers to elements that were denied you before. You have the ability to light a candle in the darkness, so to speak, and bring elements of truth out of the shadows and into the light once more. If your card falls in the circle of love, it indicates that you have great awareness of the fact that all of creation came into being because of unconditional love, and that is what fuels all that is. There are no conditions on it, no restrictions, and the supply, well, it's unlimited. The love of creation is endless and eternal. In theory, we all strive to achieve that level of love. However, the element of being human often inhibits us from achieving the totality of the expression. We are on planet to grow and learn, to gather wisdom and understanding of the concept of physical existence. As a result, our ability to offer love in an unconditional way is limited by the very fact that we are in physical form at the moment. Love has many different levels and expressions. The ego often gets in the way when it comes to the element of love, and we find ourselves questioning to what degree love is given or received. Each individual has their own limits as to their ability to give and receive love, and often how it is expressed is quite often not understood. Life's experiences often become challenges as to the degree that love is shared, and sometimes not understood. Elements of love, compassion, and empathy are precious elements, and life's experiences in the physical often create situations where hurt is experienced, and so those elements are protected from hurt as life flows on. That protection is often so good that it does prevent a recurrence of hurt. It won't let it in. The problem is it also prevents love from getting in as well, causing a feeling of isolation. Happily, that protection can come down in layers if worked on carefully, and then the flow of energy that always surrounded you will be able to enter and heal and to be open to accept it from others as well. We were created from unconditional love. It is our true nature, and we have the freedom to celebrate that love and share it with others. We just have to be respectful of the levels that others are limiting themselves to. Unconditional love does not require a return, for the giving of it is the joy. I'm going to repeat that because it's so important that you hear and understand this. Unconditional love does not require a return, for the giving of it is the joy of it. If your card falls in the circle for spirit, it reminds you that the spirit that dwells within knows the freedom of the spheres, the ability to flow in all directions, and the experience of being one with all of eternity. One might wonder, why then did it choose to be in physical and not have the freedom to access all of those joyful wonders of all time? The reason is that your spirit has chosen to currently gather experience beyond what is in the etheric realms, to expand into a greater wholeness, and to reach beyond the limits of the etheric realms. The physical realms offer experiences that enhance the wisdoms gathered and stored and expanded into greater understanding of the journey the spirit is upon. The essence of love adds dimensions to the eternal and provides understanding beyond the etheric comprehensions. Older, wiser spirits take this journey, and it is not for the faint of heart. No matter where the pathway leads, please remember you have within one of great wisdom and experience, and if allowed, can give you sage advice to make your choices from.